I'm so excited to tell you about all the things that God did on our last retreat, April 23rd through 25th. We are still kind of processing and taking it all in and hearing some stories from the students of what God is continuing to do in their life. It was so much fun. We had 58 college students from 14 different universities travel some 6.5 hours to Garden City Chapel, which is in the Garden City Beach, Myrtle Beach area of South Carolina. Friday, as they started to roll in, we had the check-in process, and it was really fun to meet some of the students that have been in our Zoom Bible studies, and we were meeting them in person for the first time, and some of them were meeting each other for the first time. And so that was a really neat thing to get to do that and just kind of build the energy and set the bar for the whole weekend that, hey, community is about to be built. We hit night one pretty hard. We started with session one. We learned what it means to be a disciple, someone who obeys, repents, and surrenders their life to following Jesus. And then worship, just incredible, led by our good friend Micah Brown. Led us in worship. My friend Dan Pohl was able to play the keys, who I worked with at the chapel. And then Hannah Barty, a new friend of ours, sang as well. So just incredible moments where we all stood in a circle, engaging in intimacy with Jesus through worship. Saturday morning was a great time where the students got out, did their quiet times, and then we gathered for session 2, which was all about being an initiator. If you want to be a disciple of Jesus and make disciples, it requires you to be intentional and to be an initiator to those around you inside your circle of influence. We talked all about that, had some worship, amazing food. Our food was unbelievable throughout the weekend. We had some amazing volunteers that came and cooked for us, and it was a few notches above camp food. It was awesome. Saturday night was just one of those moments where God just swept through the room where we were and just took over. It was incredible. The session right before was about intimacy with Jesus, and it was all about how can we grow in our relationship with Jesus, but also have intimate moments with him where we're hearing his voice, where we're listening to his call and saying yes to him. And then worship was just an overflow of drawing closer to that intimacy with him. Just an unbelievable night of worship. Students praying for each other and just so many cool things happening. And then after that, Saturday night, it went down. We had the most amazing karaoke night I've ever been a part of. So much fun, and just another aspect of the students building community with one another. Some students like singing a song together, and they just met that weekend. It was just so much fun to do that. So a really neat night, and then just kind of capping everything off Sunday morning with sending these students out saying, okay, look, you've taken in a lot of stuff this weekend. God has moved, God has spoken, and now it's time to go back to your campuses, go back to your workplaces, go back to wherever you are, and go put this stuff in action. If we didn't do that, if we didn't send them out and encourage and challenge them to do that, then we're not doing our part as leaders. And so we just took some time praying over one another and really encouraging them to go back and go use what they've been given, which is the Holy Spirit, to go and take what they've learned to their circle of influences and their people. And there's so many really cool stories that have come out of this weekend that we're still learning about. We heard of one student recently that was on the edge of fully committing his life to Jesus, and for whatever reason was just holding back. And a couple of nights after the retreat, he fully surrendered his life to Jesus, and just thanked us for being a part of that and softening his heart. And just stories like that where students are suffering and struggling through social anxiety and different things in their life, and God just moved in an amazing way. And we are so thankful that we could just kind of step back, present the things that we've studied, that we work for, but present the things to them and then watch God do amazing things in their life. I want to thank you. If you're watching this, then you follow Refuge Retreat in some way, or you support us financially. And I just want to say thank you so much. We are witnessing and watching the mission that God has given us. We're watching it happen. And I may have said this before, but sometimes it takes years for that to happen. It takes years for people to be able to see the mission that God has given them really work out. And we're watching it happen. We're watching a generation of college students come together, build community, learn what it means to follow Jesus, grow in your intimacy with Jesus, and then go back and make disciples. I want to say thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support. We are tired still, it feels like, and still kind of processing. But if anything, we look back and see what God has done, and it just fuels our energy and fuels our drive to continue going, encouraging, teaching, and making disciples. So thank you. Stay tuned for more updates and more stories of what God is doing through our retreat.